Baka to Test is an anime that I feel is quintessential to every lewd, slightly offensive, and extremely dysfunctional romance anime of the late 2000s and early 2010s. It has this amateur energy to it that's really hard to explain, but I find it so lovable in the weirdest ways possible. Now this could just be blind nostalgia for the overabundance of old tropes, or the fact that they have an equal number of brain cells as your average crustacean, but there's so many little things, and so many big things, that make me just love an anime like Baka to Test. And no, I was not one of the majority of people who watched this anime way back when it came out, and I'm nostalgic for that reason. No, it's never that simple, because I, Eden from YouTube channel Korwain, am a poser. I'm a fake. I'm a fraud. Because I watched this anime in September of 2022, which, if we do a little bit of mathematizing, is nowhere near 2010. In this video, we're gonna be taking a deep dive into an anime called Baka to Test Hosho Kanju, Summon the Beast. And if you want to summon your inner beast, smash that like button to get this video to 10k likes, because if you do, I'll make a video reviewing the second season of this anime. You can comment down below other anime you want me to check out. This one was recommended by Boom and Boom. And subscribe if you're new. Now let's get into the video. So as an outsider looking in, Baka to Test has always been an anime I've touted around with the likes of other mediocre series of the same era. And that's all fine and dandy for the most part. I mean, it is a Silver Link harem comedy romance series, so when many people think back to watching it for the first time, it can easily be conflated in their memories with anime like To Love Ru, High School DxD, and Date A Live. A harem series with a quirky premise that isn't going to take itself all that seriously, and is willing to degrade itself in the process of entertaining the viewer. It's the epitome of, it's not that deep, bro, but I'm here to change that thought process, because when it comes to Baka to Test, you are going to be deep in your bro. And I'm not joking. Being deep in your bro is actually a really big part of Baka to Test, so hold on to that, and we'll get back to it a little bit later. But with all this talk about sussy bakas and testing, one might wonder, what is this anime even about? Now, the original premise of Baka to Test is that there are 6 classes in this school, and our protagonist and his quirky crew of friends basically all ended up getting bad test grades for one reason or another on their entry exams, which landed them in the worst class of them all, Class F. And now, Class F isn't that pretty. The lockers are falling apart. Our Mr. Main character's very own desk breaks immediately, and overall, the entire room is in such a comically exaggerated state of decay, you would have thought this anime took place in Detroit, Michigan. However, our main characters aren't a bunch of fucking losers. They're the main characters for a reason, so they challenge the high-level classes, working their way up the ranks in the weird chibi RPG form of combat that they have. That's honestly pretty cute. I like it a lot. Never seen it in an anime like this before. However, I would be lying if I said I didn't have my fingers crossed behind my back when I just explained what this anime is about, because the anime is constantly deviating and losing focus from the original plot for a bunch of stupid fucking reasons, which is honestly fine by me, as it leads to some of the funnier, lewder, and even slightly more offensive episodes. Violence in the theaters, illegally buying femboy pictures on campus, running an entire amusement park are just the tip of the iceberg of things which I'll talk about later. But before that, I want to talk about boom. You know what I'm saying? This anime is carried by its characters through and through, and that is for a very wide array of reasons, might I add. You see, just a few episodes in, I already loved basically all of them. They really do steal the show. This is very much so an ensemble cast anime, so I want to talk about them now, so I could talk about them as much as possible for the rest of the video, and you will know who I'm talking about later on. Got it? Let's go. Now, it would make sense if I started with our main character, which is exactly why I'm actually going to start with talking about the homophobic female side character that's barely even in the anime. Yes, this is what makes me the best anime reviewer on the platform.
You shut the fuck up!
Now, this female anime character is known as Shimizu Miharu, and I'm afraid to say that I love her because people are probably going to look at me as even more of a degenerate. She hates men and is obsessed with this other girl, and she is very, very, very gay. Might remind you of a certain Railgun character. Look, I don't know. She brings the chaos, she brings the heat, if you know what I mean. And if by heat you thought I meant slurs, then you would be correct. Jesus fucking Christ, what are these fan-made subtitles? Yeah, I watched this anime subbed, and as this was 2010, they were probably just throwing in slurs for the sake of it, which is like kind of fucked up, but hey, it made the character even more chaotic, so maybe that's a big W. I don't know. It would depend on who you ask, really. I'm not a fan that they did this, but I would be lying if I said it didn't make things just a little bit more intriguing. At the end of the day, it did make Miharu a more entertaining character, because whenever she showed up on screen, it was like a mystery box of which slur she would utter next. And look, to be fair, she is fighting the good fight. She might be homophobic, but she's only homophobic when it comes to men who are trying to take the girl she has a crush on. Which, well, that doesn't really make any sense now that I think about it. She has the hots for this other character, who is actually a main character, who goes by the name of Minami Shimada. And now Minami is actually a really important character because she's a tomboy. And as we all know damn well here on the Korwa Eden YouTube channel, this is a tomboy appreciation community, okay? If you do not like tomboys, well, you can go ahead and unsubscribe from this channel right now. Minami is also in Class F, the lowest class of them all. And you can most often find her being self-conscious about her chest size and physically assaulting our main character even though she clearly has a crush on him. Her little chibi fighting character also has the best design of them all in my opinion. Just look at this little guy, so scrunkly. What do you mean? She's absolutely not like any other anime girl that I really like. The other female lead of the series who also has the hots for our main character is Mizuki Himeji. I'm not too huge on her as a character. Sure, she may be a short stack, that's all nice and dandy, but she's just kind of this oblivious, soft, gentle flower. And like an iPhone screen, I feel like if I dropped her from a height of only a few inches, she would shatter into a million pieces. She's pretty inoffensive, so I'm not gonna shit on her too hard, but aside from those main characters, we have Yuji, who is our main character's best friend, Hideyoshi, who is a trap, but is he really? Like, is he really though? The subtitles say he is, but that's like 2010. Old comments on the internet say he is, but that's a different time. He never really intentionally fools anyone on his gender. This is not a trap. Sorry, folks. This is literally just a femboy, and I'm here for it. Also, it's important to know that the wiki literally cites his gender as Hideyoshi. You really do love to see it. Kota, who's a pervy guy with a camera who, did I mention, sells femboy pictures for a very good price. Aiko tomboy, Kubo gay guy, little sister, big sister, and I feel like I just took the gayest attendance of my entire life. Now, for the most part, this anime is pretty simple with plot elements of fighting other classrooms and their unique RPG-inspired form of combat. But what's more interesting are the episodes where they just fuck off for a while. They completely forget about the actual anime and just go do something else. Like, there's this one episode where the two main love rivals are basically fighting over giving Yuji their homemade lunch. And it's pretty exaggerated and extreme. Like, I'm 90% sure there were casualties in this episode. And there's just crazy plot twist after crazy plot twist with little sisters, my homophobic wife sexually harassing Minami. They both end up getting cock-blocked by a guy in the end. He goes with the guy, ladies and gentlemen. Boys, this is 2010. This is low-key kind of a progressive portrayal for the time in literally the weirdest way possible. And as I'm sitting there watching this anime, I just think to myself, what the fuck does this have to do with the class system, the testing, the RPG fighting mechanics? Literally everything I've been taught to believe for the past hour has been thrown out of the window. What is going on? And then I realize, hey yo, but the show is still kind of a banger, and then I click to watch the next episode. You see, Baka to test is a lot of things, and you could very well say many positive things and many negative things about the anime as a whole. But I feel like one thing most people could agree on is this is a pretty unique romance anime, and for that reason alone, I completed the first season. And I think it's something that you should at least attempt watching as well. Also, look at this smile. Don't you just want to protect this smile with every muscle in your body? I know I do. And aside from that batshit premise, even though this anime isn't really animated by the most illustrious studio known to man, there is still a lot of creative choices being made visually that kept me, an ultra anime virgin who has seen like over 300 anime, still thoroughly enthralled episode after episode. Sometimes doing the smallest things like switching up art styles, variety in camera angles during dialogue scenes, and additional stylized endings can all add so much more to a series and remove it from the clutches of mediocrity. But I think it goes a long way, and it shows that even though this is just a stupid, goofy romance comedy anime, there was still a lot of time, effort, and thought put into even the smallest things. But hey, if you need me, I am going to be playing the Baka to Test video game, so you might have to come back at another time, as my door is going to be locked for no reason in particular.